Chest 1 inch below armhole. Measure 1 inch down from bottom of armholes, straight across garment from side to side. Armhole circumference. Measure along the contour of armhole seam from the bottom of the armhole to the top of the armhole. Lapel length. Measure lapel length from HPS to the middle of the first button. Collar point. Measure along the edge from collar point to the seam. Lapel point. Measure along the edge of the lapel point to the lapel collar join. Lapel width. Measure from the lapel point to the edge of the fold, following a measuring direction perpendicular to the center front. Pocket flap height. Measure from the top edge of the flap at center to bottom edge. Pocket flap width. Measure along top edge of flap from edge to edge. Button spacing. Measure from center of button to center of button. Breast welt width. Measure opening of the welt from side to side. Breast welt height. Measure from top of welt to the bottom of the welt. Breast welt placement. HPS into top of welt. Measure straight down from HPS to the top of the welt. Jacket seat 5 inches from bottom. Measure 5 inches up from bottom and straight across garment side to side. Across shoulder. Measure at highest point of armhole, straight across from seam to seam. Across back 8 inches below HPS, measure 8 inches down from HPS, across back from armhole seam to armhole seam. Back length CBN. Measure from center back neck seam straight down to the bottom edge of the garment. Half waist. Measure on a straight line from the front edge of the coat, going over the top buttonhole to the center back seam. For jackets with 3 buttons closure, measure at the middle button. Sleeve length from CBN. Set-in sleeves. Measure from center back neck at seam to shoulder point. Pivot and continue along the outside fold of sleeve to the bottom of the sleeve's cuff. Sleeve length underarm. Measure at the bottom of the armhole/side seam intersection, along the sleeve seam to the bottom edge of the sleeve cuff. Upper arm 1 inch below AH. Measure 1 inch below armhole, side seam intersection, straight across the sleeve perpendicular 90-degree angle to the fold of the sleeve. Sleeve opening, relaxed. Measure from edge to edge along the bottom of sleeve opening. Collar height. Measure at the center back of the collar, join seam to the top edge of the collar. Vent length, đâu từ đầu về dọc theo cạnh đến mép dưới.